The Artful Inlets program started last year. It's a cooperative effort between the City of Norman Stormwater Division, Norman Arts Council, and the Public Arts Board. And the purpose of the program is really to bring attention to sometimes hidden stormwater infrastructure around the city.
The best way to get across a message is visually. The arts and design have been used to get messages out there for the length of humanity. So having these at the inlets is a good way to get the message across to everybody who walks by that what goes down the drain needs to be clean and eco-friendly.
What you see in front of you is what we commonly call a storm drain. It's got a couple of features to it. It's got our curb hoods and then it's got our inlets. It takes the stormwater that runs off this street and from the buildings and takes it in a pipe system and takes it to our nearest creek or stream. And the thing that's important to note about these is that anything that's on this street, on this sidewalk, when it rains, it runs right into that inlet and out to our creeks and streams without any treatment. People often really think that water that goes down there actually goes to our wastewater treatment plant and gets treated, and it doesn't.
I love people's comments. Kids notice kids with this message. And so having people just comment on how much they have enjoyed them is my favorite part.
I think what really intrigues me about this is how different and unique each Artful Inlet piece really is. This one that I'm in front of is Every Drop Counts by Derek, and he did a great job last year. And his technique was very smooth and it flows like water. But across the street, Jenna Dowling did a piece and she invited the community in and had people helping her with her artwork, and it was stencil based. And so I think that's one of my favorite things, is just to see how these artists take their concept and put it into reality on our sidewalks. And I'll tell you, sidewalks are a very challenging canvas for our artists because you've got trees dropping debris onto it, you know, you've got people traveling back and forth, but they handle it well and it turns out beautifully.
The title of it's called Balance, and it's basically koi fish that represent the yin and yang, and it's pretty much about the balance between us as humans and the earth, you know, what we need to do to help out, basically. I work for the Stormwater Division, so it's something that I deal with on a daily basis. You know, we see all the trash and pollution that goes into the storm drains. So it's kind of a big deal for me. And make them aware that, you know, we've got curbside recycling and curbside compost here in Norman. And I'd like to see more people take advantage of that.
We've done mermaids before and thought it'd be really fun and colorful and a good way to draw attention to the project. You know, mermaids are kind of mythical creatures, and having the kind of faces blink gives people a little bit of opportunity to see themselves.
It sounded fun as an artist to be able to paint on the sidewalk, and it had a nice environmental message to it that we appreciated and wanted to be a part of the program. I'm proud to be from Norman, and I'm excited to be adding a little bit of art to the streets and the item.
That really is the cool part. Painting on the sidewalk is awesome.
We're doing some frogs on lily pads for the storm drains. I've been involved in Norman arts for a long time, and that's always a good way to give back. At the same time, we're pushing a good message. This is about sending bad stuff down the drain.
So I did last year's project too, and last year's I did really bright colors and basically used the whole rainbow, and this year I just wanted it to be simple and powerful, of using like magnified droplets of clean water to show that it's clean water that we want only down the drains. It's great because doing a little bit for our community. I love supporting our community through my artwork, and I think this is a really good thing to do, and have more public art for Norman is a great thing. The city of Norman is wonderful and provides lots of great snacks and cover, and they provided the paints, and it's a really fun project, and they treat us really well. They spoil us.
The story behind it is basically when we let trash get into our gutters, it gets into natural lakes and things, and I really dislike the idea of forcing animals to live amongst our trash because we can't pick up after ourselves. So I thought a good way to show that would be to put a bunch of goldfish like in water bottles, so they're all kind of isolated and they don't have much room and whatnot.
We want people to embrace the art, to notice it, and to also be aware of what the message is, so they can take that with them everywhere.
And ultimately, I think our plan is to make this something that we can actually do an art walk tour of Artful Inlets across the city, and we can connect different parts of our community through an art walk of looking at Artful Inlets. We can go from Main Street down to Campus Corner, go along Legacy Trail, and you'll see these things. So it's a growing thing that we hope we can continue for many years to come.